What's up, guys? This is Ween. I am here to talk about a new video that I just saw posted. I think it's gotten a lot of traction on Just Pearly Things YouTube channel, where she's talking to Andrew Tate, the infamous Andrew Tate, who's currently being investigated for sex trafficking. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll go through the video, see what I think about it. Probably weigh in on some of the ridiculous things he's saying. I only watched the first 30 seconds of it so far, and then decided I'm probably going to need to record a reaction to it. So let's get into it and see what this crazy man's saying.
There has not been in the history of humanity, across any culture, any book, any story, any fable, there has never been across the history of humanity any respect put on the name of a promiscuous female ever. Ever. You name the biggest conquerors that you can possibly name from history. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, all of them. They all had 100 wives, bunch of children, Big G, conquered the world. Normal. That is normal evolutionary biology. That's how men are designed to be. There's never...
All right. We can pause it right off the bat. This was the part I've already heard. Listen, you can't try and make comparisons between today's day and age and hundreds or thousands of years ago. The fact that Genghis Khan fathered half of Asia and was celebrated by his people for it has nothing to do with today. Today, men and women are equal, and what part of his argument is stemming from the fact that the biggest reason why men and women haven't been equal for a long time, if you look past past the recent times, is because men were stronger, physically more stronger, and that doesn't matter as much in society today. In fact, it matters significantly less. Um, you know, Today's world we live in, for the most part, civil societies, who's stronger doesn't decide who's a better accountant, or who's stronger doesn't decide who's going to be better at putting YouTube content on the web. I mean, like, just today's world, that huge disparity between men and women doesn't matter. Um, so you can't just try and act like, oh, today his argument is there's no famous or I guess well thought of promiscuous women in the past. Yeah, of course, because the ideology in the past was that a woman being promiscuous was bad. It was that women were supposed to be in the house raising the children, which is again, he goes back to biology. Yeah, biologically, men are programmed to spread their seed, women are programmed to be nurturing and care for. We're we're evolving. We're humans, not animals anymore. We live in society. I'm recording this on a camera. We have social media on our phone. It's nowhere near comparable. It's just not even a little bit. So I just don't understand where his point is coming from. Uh, the whole point in kind of today's life, and the biggest like motto is be happy and stuff. So you do what makes you happy today, or you do what contributes to society, one or the other. You're either doing something that makes you the happiest, or that makes other people the happiest. uh so yeah, I rambled longer than I needed to about it, but it's just so dumb to be like, oh, Genghis Khan is who you're
Never been a single female who's been celebrated for her promiscuity ever in history. It's always been frowned upon and
yeah, of
disgusting.
course.
So yes, we are completely and utterly different. Yes, it's different if a woman cheats on a man. And if a man is at a complete top level of his life and ticks every single box, and if he decides to be loyal, which some do.
It's different if a woman cheats on a man, if you're living in a world where the woman needs the man for everything, where the man has the upper hand in the relationship, where she literally physically needs his protection, where she doesn't have any other options. We're talking about back in the day when he's talking about times when, like, once you were done being a virgin, you weren't wanted by other men. Like, it's just so ridiculous. He's talking about these archaic caveman customs, and values, and trying to apply them to today's world.
And I can be loyal, and I have been loyal, but there's also times in my life where I think, fuck it, I don't want to be, and get a new girlfriend every single day of the week. I can do that, and I can decide to do that. If a woman decides to do the same, purely because her value is high enough to attract so many males, because she's beautiful, for example, it is completely different. And I'm going to explain to you why it's completely different, so buckle up. It's different. It's different. It's different. Well, I'll tell you why.
Go
It
on,
is
Sadie.
impossible for a female to be promiscuous on a long enough period of time without devaluing herself because she is fucking people she shouldn't be fucking. There is no way she is sleeping with endless men and all of them are either high value men or treating her the way she should be treated.
It's the
If you
same.
find a woman who slept with 50, 100 dudes, she's
I think the 50, 100 women that men are sleeping with are all going to be at the same level or at his his argument he's arguing right now is like works 100% of the time the other way.
either fucking dudes which aren't at her level or haven't worked hard enough to try and get the pussy. She was just too drunk to realize he's a loser who plays video games. Or she's fucking a top G who barely texts her back. So either way, she's fucking dudes she shouldn't be fucking, or a guy who's at the level who doesn't give her the right amount of attention. For
She's
a woman
doing it to
find
have
a
fun
guy who's truly on
or
a
to
level who
enjoy your
truly
life.
treats her the way she should be treated, that's once every couple years, if that. You ain't just gonna go out there fucking a new dude every week and say, yeah, he's worth pussy. Yeah, he treats me good enough to get my pussy. Da da da. And you know what's funny about the universe? It's actually beautiful about the universe because it's equal and opposite forces. When you devalue yourself, it's kind of like men can smell it on you. They can just look at a bitch and go, oh. And that's the way it works. So you have to be very careful as a female and sit and go, does this man truly deserve to fuck me? And if you
It's
think about
really
it, the
not.
answer 99% of the
I
time,
understand
especially
where
if you're
he's coming
promiscuous, is no. So when a woman is sleeping around with all these men, she's devaluing herself. She's devaluing herself, and the world knows, God knows.
Dude, I would have no idea. I mean, like, how is she devaluing herself? I guess if it's public knowledge that she slept with all these people, then there would be the more insecure men would be more intimidated by the fact that she slept with a lot of people. It's funny, he preaches top G, like that's his whole like, yo, top G, like, it wouldn't someone whose ideals are so toxic and toxic masculinity, wouldn't that person be saying, who care, if your woman sleeps around, who cares, like you're the top G, top G, like it shouldn't matter, like it's so weird. The toxic masculinity is actually like, oh no, you should be more sensitive about women doing that, and that should hurt, that should make you more self-conscious about yourself. It's weird.
The universe knows. When a man does it, he doesn't devalue himself at all. That's just the way it works.
Can I ask you a question? Wait, Esther, 1 second. Sir, may I ask you a question? What would you say if a woman now is married to 2 men?
Haram.
Why?
No, I'll tell you why. Let's talk about this. What is the difference between a man, let's say me, I have 4 wives, right? What's the difference between a man having 4 wives and a woman having 4 men?
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time.
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time, and we know who the parents are, right? So
Yes.
let's say you had 4 pregnancies, you know who the mother is because she's carrying the baby, and you know who the dad is, top G. If you had a woman with 4 men and she gets pregnant, who's the parents?
What about if...
No, I'm asking. Do
Okay,
you know?
I ask, what if they're different races? One
Answer
white,
the
one black.
question.
You don't know.
Answer the question.
You don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Again, like in today's world, you just do a paternity test and the parents are the mother and the father that made the baby. Or really, the mother and whatever father wants to raise it, like whatever's the best for the household. Again, everything he argues is based on the Stone Ages. It's based on just, not having like technology, not advancing as a society, no longer men and women. I mean, it's annoying to hear. And the biggest reason why it's annoying to hear is because people listen to this and believe him and are like, but I think at least partially he's playing a character. I don't think he fully believes all of this. I think some of it he does, but I think he's starting to kind of drown in his character.
Now, modern science can come along and maybe fix that for you, but that doesn't mean it's not wrong in the eyes of God. The idea of having a family, the idea of a child being born, one of the baselines for a new life to come onto this planet is for at least to
acknowledges modern science, destroys his argument, and then tries to say, oh, well, the real reason for my argument is because of God. Oh.
understand who the 2 people who made it are, at least. If you have a woman fucking 4 dudes, you don't even know who got her pregnant.
So may I just say...
disgusting.
Wait.
Have you seen the twins that had 2 different dads?
Oh yeah, I saw that. May I just say something then? So if that is the case, yeah, if the one thing that you're meant to have is at least you know who the 2 people that put that child on earth are, then that's why promiscuity for men is also a problem, because they get women pregnant. Sometimes they don't even know they have children. That's haram, no?
No, it's completely different. It's different because you have to understand, I'm talking about humans. You look at humans from a societal perspective, but society has changed, right? So let's say 200-300 years ago, if a woman got
He
pregnant,
can't argue about present day. He literally can't. Everything he does is based on at least a couple hundred years ago.
needed a man to survive. If that man didn't take care of her during pregnancy, she was going to die. She couldn't work a job, she couldn't hunt, couldn't fish, whatever, right? A woman literally needed that man for survival. So if you were to come to me and say I'm pregnant, but you've been fucked by 4 different dudes, I'd be like, who says it's mine? Why am I looking after you? None of them want to look after her. She will literally perish. This is why in most of the world today, still today, virginity is so coveted, and throughout all of history it's been so coveted, because that's the only way to ensure paternity. She's a virgin, I know that's my baby. She ain't a virgin.
It's coveted in extremely religious cultures and in third world countries more than anything.
And prove it's mine.
Me and you,
Outside of
Tate,
this modern
me have
science
4
bullshit,
wives.
Shaitan, the devil we have here in the West, in most of the world today, without virginity or at least a low body count or at least anti-promiscuity, you can't tell that that's your baby. So it's a completely different thing. You're looking at the idea of a woman being pregnant and coming to a group of men and saying, one of you has to take care of me and put up with me when I'm fat and moody and annoying and
Oh
I
my
need my bills
God.
paid. And all the men are going to sit there and go, no, fuck no, prove it's mine. You can't prove it, bounce. Where it's different. If I get 4 women pregnant, we know the deal.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So
guy's a
obviously
moron.
back then for survival, women needed a man. Otherwise, when they were pregnant,
He's not a moron because intellectually he knows what he's saying and he knows the argument. So I'm not gonna say he's a moron. He just has a really weird way of looking at the world and at life.
they could die and all of these things, they would perish. In today's society, given
He's a moron.
evolution, given the fact that as women we can
You
go
still
and
need
get.
men.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that. Isn't there a glitch between what is actually happening and the nature of what we have in our bodies? I think that's probably the conflict that we're having right now.
Glitch in what way?
In the sense that women don't feel like they need men in the most physical sense, perhaps
that's
like
right.
naturally.
It's very interesting. Women don't feel like they need men in a physical sense because life is soft, but it's bullshit. And it's bullshit because you still need men by proxy, 1, and 2, the second life gets difficult, you very quickly learn how much you need men. But women will go, I'm independent, I don't need no man because I have an OnlyFans and men pay my OnlyFans, and if anyone comes up to me, I'll call a male police officer. I don't need men. Shut up, you fucking idiot. Of course you do. You just named your whole life is based on fucking men. The road you're driving on was paved by a man. The house you're living in was built by a man. The car you're driving
His whole
was
argument
designed by a man. Your whole life
revolves
depends
around the
on
fact
men.
that
And the
men-
second anything bad were to happen to you, the second you were physically threatened, or times
The
were to get hard, or
history
war were to
of
start,
men
or famine, or riots,
dominating
the
women.
first thing you do is find a big strong man, shit yourself, and throw the feminism out the window. Feminism goes out the fucking window the second that the snow needs shoveling, or there's a fucking broken down car, or the tire needs changing. Then all that crap vanishes. It's garbage. And this is the very interesting thing. I'll make a point here, which is going to get me canceled again, but I don't give a fuck. But this is the point.
If we fight,
Feminism in and
you
of
need
itself
men.
can't be defended. The point of an idea is that it can be defended by the people who believe in it. This has been the whole point of war since the dawn of time. It doesn't matter if it was the Christians against the Hindus. It doesn't matter if it was the Germans against the French. There were people who had ideas and ideologies, and they were prepared to fight each other to defend their ideology. Feminism is an ideology which cannot be defended by feminists. The only people who can defend feminism are the men who subscribe to the garbage. If all the feminists were to get in a line and say, we want feminism, and the conservative men were to get in a line, you would learn very quickly it's bullshit. I had a friend in Afghanistan when Taliban.
It's just all about men are stronger than women. That's everything. His whole argument, like it's bonkers. His whole argument is men are stronger than women. That's all. I mean, so it would be really interesting if he was alive 150 years from now, to the point where probably physical strength will mean nothing. Let's say that everybody's got a robot protecting them, and is he still going to be yelling about how 500 years ago, men were stronger than women, so that's the way it should be? Like his whole argument is let's just completely deny the advancements in society today, the fact that in the Western world you really don't. I mean, like, physical violence is nowhere near as much of an issue as it was years ago. There is no, like, the survival of the fittest thing. It's different. Today, your smarts, how intellectual you are, your memory, looks do still matter in today's world, but your brain is so much more important today than it used to be hundreds of years ago when this dumbass is quoting from. This guy pisses me off.
Kicked America out. And he told me the Americans were telling the girls they could go to school. So they built all these
Surprising
girls'
Pearl
schools,
hasn't
and they
talked
put the
much at all.
Afghanistani Defense Forces there, and they funded the Afghan Defense Forces to
Not that she would
protect these schools.
be against them.
You had American satellites, you had night vision goggles. Taliban were afraid to attack. America leaves. Now you have Afghani Defense Forces. They're basically blind. They don't have satellites anymore. Don't have night vision, whatever. So now it's a real war. The men are standing next to this girls' school. The Taliban are coming. You're some dude. You're standing there, and you're looking at this girls' school going, I don't really give a fuck if girls go to school. Bounce. And you didn't fight. So that's why they all gave up, and Taliban.
He's talking about it's funny, he's preaching to the Western world, and he's preaching to the people in developed countries his ideals, but he's then saying, "Oh, look at this example. These people who are not in developed countries, who don't have technology, who aren't advanced enough intellectually to accept the fact that women and men are equal. These people, look what happens when all the technology you're preaching. Your audience isn't those people."
Took over so quickly. And when I said this, the girl's like, yeah, they should have fought for us, feminism. Why don't the women fight?
Can I ask?
Oh, wait, the women can't defend their own fucking idea. You need men to defend feminism. So that's why the whole thing is stupid. Because the second men don't defend it, it just fails as a fucking ideology. It's garbage.
May I tell you something now? So this is the thing. This is when we assume that women perhaps don't have the physical or even mental ability to go to a war. Wait. Because this is the thing. For example, in Ukraine, a lot of women took up arms. And in fact, I'm Angolan. Wait, I'm Angolan. Wait, I'm Angolan. And
So a small issue we're going to run into here is, Andrew Tate is smarter than this girl is. Although his ideas are all out of whack, he's smarter than this girl is. So she's going to make this argument, which is a stupid argument. But I mean, of course she's right. But he's going to make the argument about how women can't do what men can do physically, and that makes them worse soldiers. And if a man were to get her down on the ground with a bayonet, he would kill her instantly. And so, I mean, so. She's going to run into a little bit of a wall here, but
don't lie.
We'll get through
to
it.
the people at home.
wait, don't worry. I'll talk about my personal
you wanna
story.
Go to war? You wanna fight
wait.
the front
Let me
lines?
tell you. Let me tell you something. This
Pearl,
is the thing. I think
shut
it's
up.
also really silly to assume that,
don't
for
want to
example, a
either.
woman, because she
They
didn't
don't
go
want
to school, she'll not be as
getting
intelligent as a
shot
man.
at.
Therefore, naturally, a woman is not intelligent. No, it doesn't make sense. If we're now starting to normalize equality and we want to put everybody in the forefront, give a woman a
Who's
gun.
normalising equality?
Well, that's what people are wanting. Then that's
People
the case.
like who?
Let me tell you,
Who
Auntie.
wants to normalise equality? People like who? Feminists. Who else
No,
wants to?
Well, actually, no equality. I want respect. That's really
Yeah,
what
but
I
you
want.
Stopping you from getting respect.
Exactly.
No,
I get respect.
I
What's
get
stopping you from getting
respect. I get respect.
So,
That's
you
what I
just
want.
said
That's
you
what I
want
like.
respect.
What I think is,
You don't even know what you want.
I'll tell you what I
Don't know
want.
what you want. You want
As a
equality,
woman, I
and you want
carry myself
respect.
differently. I actually hold the things that I have done in the fights that I fought. I hold it. That's why when you speak to me, I don't move different. I move different to many of the girls. That's why when you talk to me and you argue with me, I don't take
argue with
it.
you.
You do
I tell
sometimes.
you.
And
I
I'll
don't
tell you
argue.
something. A lot of women may have the accolades to be somebody, but they are uncomfortable to own that. And the reason why, then I would like to ask you, for example, I do need a man, for example, to procreate. But other than that, I'm quite strong, and I would find a way to protect myself differently. With that mentality, what would be the man that would be for me then?
Denava, what would you do if one of these security guards broke into your door?
What would I do? Okay.
What would she do if she had a normal man? The normal man is what, 160 pounds and 5'7"? It would be the same issue. It's such a bad argument. Like what would, like, I could say, what would you do if a guy broke into your door with a machine gun? It's just such a dumb argument. Not to mention, I mean, what percentage of houses are getting broken into with violent crime? Just a microscopic percentage. I mean, it's a stupid argument.
I'll tell
What would you do? What would
One,
you do? No, seriously, there's no guns here.
she's a feminist.
I'll
She's a
tell you.
feminist.
No, I'm not a
She was
feminist.
Security
I say
guard.
tell
She'd
me.
die.
I'm
Like
not a
90% of the
feminist.
world,
I'm
including men.
a bit smarter.
Okay,
Either
okay,
I'd
but
play
these
dead.
two guys-
One. Yeah.
Okay, they see you're not dead.
It's okay.
They
No,
see
I'd
you
be like
breathing.
this, and then if not, maybe I would kind of like be very gentle and comply to find a way to get out of it.
so
If
let's
they
make-
want to
but let's
come and
make an-
kill me,
but let's make an
there's not
important
much that
point.
many people
But
can
let's
do.
make an important point. You're talking about equality equaling respect. The way you get respect as a woman is by being feminine. There's nothing. We can be equal and very, very different. I'm not saying that there's
respect
not
a number
equality,
of
but
ways.
you've confused equality with the same. You can be equal with
Equity.
completely different things. You can have a bishop and a knight on a chessboard. They're equal in terms of points, but they do different things, right? A woman can have equal respect to a man if she is very good at being a woman, and a man gets respect for being very good at being a man. When a woman decides she wants to act like a man, or a man wants to act like a woman, that's where all gets fucked up. We try and pretend it's all the
Yes.
same. It's not the same. Men and women are good at different things. We have different strengths, different weaknesses. There's nothing wrong with accepting that. There's nothing wrong with saying,
Partially.
I'm a woman, I'm good at X, he's a man, he's good at Y. Then we work together as a team, we have a beautiful family, we're happy forever. It's only confused where you have women who sit and go, no, because in the name of equality, we can fight in war. There's no fucking women on the front line in Ukraine. That is psyop bullshit. They put some chick there dancing around doing Pokemon dances to try and convince men to go fucking die in a ditch. It's garbage. If you go to the front line of Ukraine right now, you do not see women in their makeup and their manicures. You see fucking men in the freezing cold dying. You know where the women are? Dubai, chilling. That's where the women are. So to sit and pretend that women are just as capable physically as men is a fucking lie. It's delusion.
Listen, they're not.
To say that you're as
That's
strong as men is delusion. You are
understandable.
good at
No
other
way.
things. You're better than men at a lot of things, but it's not the physical.
Ever see the movie Surrogates or anything? I mean, dude, eventually physical strength is gonna matter. Not at all. I mean, already there's so much less ground fight. I mean, we got predator drones and shit. I mean, his whole argument, men are stronger than women, so how are women supposed to go to war? All right, so I mean, I hope you like the response there. Andrew Tate's an interesting character, really interesting character. Again, he's well spoken, and there are parts of what he's saying that are, I mean, that are true. There are parts of what he's saying that are true, but he uses that to fuel just arguments that don't care at all about where the modern world is. I mean, he just does not care at all where the modern world is. Um, and he just refuses to accept the point that two things. One, as time goes by, men and women are going to become more and more similar. Obviously there'll always be differences. And then as time goes by, men of different races, backgrounds, everything will become more and more similar. So it's with technology advancing, like nothing he says really matters. There's going to be a time where physical strength matters for very, very little. It already matters for so much less than it did in the past. So that's basically the whole argument in this video. He kind of sounds like an idiot, but people love him, I guess. So thanks for tuning in. Let me know, in the comments if you liked my take on this. If you have arguments, and I'll fight some of you guys in the comments. Why not? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for tuning in.